Okay, what do you think? How many teaspoons of sugar does the average soda contain? What's your guess? Try 8 to 12 teaspoons of sugar per soda. Shocking, isn't it? Just for the heck of it, grab your sugar bowl and a teaspoon. Now measure out 8 to 12 teaspoons. Can you believe that one average soda has that pile of sugar in it? Don't go anywhere. I want to share with you how to find all the added sugar in your food.
Did you know that ProCare has a multivitamin soft chew that comes in 3 delicious fruit flavors? With flexible dosing, you can accommodate your whole family's vitamin needs, and it even includes iron, paired with calcium chews and our protein powder. Visit ProCareNow.com and use code SUSAN10 to save 10%.
Hi, I'm registered dietitian nutritionist Dr. Susan Mitchell, ex-radio dietitian turned podcaster. You're listening to the Bariatric Surgery Success podcast, episode number 147. Are you tired of all the hype and confusion when it comes to nutrition, especially bariatric nutrition? Eat this food. No, don't eat that food. Skip meals. Try this diet to reset your pouch. Heck, do a detox. It's enough to make you say, forget about it. I don't know what to do. Don't worry. I do. I know what to do. It matters where you get your nutrition information. When it comes to your bariatric surgery, nutrition is really specific. So I want to cut through that hype. I want to get you the accurate nutrition information that you need to know. Simple steps, simple strategies that will work in your life. I want you to feel well every day. Get out there. Do the things you want to do. And that's really why I created Bariatric Surgery Success. I did this podcast for you. So you're in the right place. I'm glad you're listening. Please feel free and share the podcast with someone that you know would benefit. And if you love it, would you write me a review on Apple Podcasts? I would appreciate it so much. Did you know that added sugars are basically empty calories? What the heck is an empty calorie? Well, it really means that the sugar provides you only calories and zilch, when it comes to providing any nutrition benefits to the maintenance of your body. Typically, added sugars are used as flavor enhancers and preservatives. And don't miss this. Their carbohydrate-dense nature makes them a trigger for dumping syndrome. In our Science 101 today, let's review a few carbohydrate basics. Carbohydrates include the sugars, the starches, and the fibers naturally present in fruits and veggies, grains, and milk products. Carbohydrates do differ in their chemical composition, in their ease of digestion, and even their speed of digestion and absorption. Sugars are typically used to describe monosaccharides, and you may have heard that word, which have one sugar unit, such as glucose and fructose, as well as disaccharides, which have 2 sugar units. Sucrose and lactose are examples, and lactose is actually the main carb that's in milk. Sugar often refers to table sugar, so you'll just hear table sugar called sugar or sucrose, and it breaks down in your body to fructose and glucose. Like sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, which is used a lot in processing, is also a mixture of fructose and glucose. Now, what about added sugars? These are syrups and sugars added to food during the processing, during preparation, or even at the table when you add syrup to a pancake, for example. Added sugars, as well as those that occur naturally in foods, are all carbs. They're metabolized or broken down into glucose. So this glucose, think of it as the primary source of energy for your brain. And this is one reason that having carbs in the diet, quality carbs, is so important. So your brain functions and you don't drag booty with brain fog. And it's also the glucose that is stored in your liver and your muscles for energy. So you pull on that storage of glucose when you need that burst of energy. So while all sugars break down to glucose, whether they're naturally occurring or they're added, food and beverages, they do differ in their nutrition profile and their role in your health. Remember, as we just said earlier, added sugars do what? That's right, they provide you only calories and zilch when it comes to nutrition, where naturally occurring sugars are in a food already that has a nutrition benefit. Okay, science aside, how do you find these added sugars in your food? I developed a tip sheet for you to help you find the added sugars in your food, and it uses some of the tips that we talk about today. You can grab this freebie, use the link, and you'll find it in the show notes. Now, go get a container of some food that you eat with added sugars. Oh, wait a minute. Go get a container, again, that has added sugars, some food that you eat with added sugars. Are you ready? Do you have one in hand? I want to look at the nutrition facts label together. Turn it over to where you see the nutrition facts label, or turn it around. Do you see total carbohydrate? Then under total carbohydrate, do you see total sugars? Total sugar, and don't miss this because this will really clarify things. Total sugar includes both added sugar and any naturally occurring sugars already in the food. So, for example, foods like fruit and milk have some natural sugars. Here's an example. Let's just say that your label says total sugars are 12 grams. Total sugars are 12 grams. Underneath total sugars is added sugars. And let's say the label says includes 10 grams of added sugars. So that means that 10 of the 12 grams were added during processing. Next. Well, how much sugar is that? What does that mean, 10 grams? In the U.S., we don't use grams as much as we should. 4 grams of sugar is about 1 teaspoon or 1 sugar cube. Did you catch that? 4 grams of sugar is about 1 teaspoon or 1 sugar cube. So what does that mean for 10 grams of sugar? You got that. That converts to about 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. So that 10 grams of sugar would be equal to what we think of as 2.5 teaspoons. Now, this one may surprise you. There are so many names for added sugars. Remember we said that added sugars and those that occur naturally in food, these carbs are all metabolized or broken down into what? Right, glucose in the body. This means that sugar, by other names, is still sugar in the body, which breaks down to glucose, and one is not healthier than another. One is not healthier than another. So what are some of the names you will see on labels? These added sugars will be on the ingredient list. And remember that ingredient list goes in descending order, most to least. So other names for sugar include brown sugar, honey, beet sugar, powdered sugar, molasses, raw sugar, coconut sugar, and maple syrup, to name a few. Here's what I want you to do this week. Be a label sleuth. Use these guides to check out the nutrition facts label as well as the ingredient list and see how many different added sugars are included in various food items. And then look and see how much sugar is added. You now know how to convert from grams to teaspoons. Knowing how to find all the added sugar in your foods puts you in better control of your journey and the food you choose to eat because you are worth it.
Bariatric Surgery Success with dietitian Dr. Susan Mitchell is produced and owned by Practicalories, LLC. All rights reserved. Remember, the content provided on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't create a patient-provider relationship. It's intended to provide reference material and is not designed to provide medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider regarding any medical issues you have relating to symptoms, conditions, diseases, diagnosis, treatments, and side effects. Podcast guests express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions which do not necessarily reflect or agree with the host, Dr. Susan Mitchell or Practicalories, LLC.